my microphone. So give me 1 second. It won't take me long. I'm pretty good at this, and I was already set up. So apologies, but I can start. I can start talking about what I want to talk about, and I did put in the link to my to signing up for LifeWave underneath, just because that way I don't have to think about it and I can just take it off. I don't have to look for it. But otherwise, I'm pretty well set up. This is the storm. I think. I think when you think about it, this is the storm. The storm is upon us. Nothing can stop what's coming. What I think is occurring, what it seems to me when I look at the when I rifle through the information streams. Let me just get the microphone on the right setting. Okay, so when I look through the information stream, let me get to the chats. Sorry, I'm a little unprepared, but actually been preparing. You're still not prepared. Hey, Ian Bell. So it seems to me when I think about what's going on at this moment, if you think of military planning, if you think of a bunch of really well trained, intelligent psychological operations, military operations, a coordinated attack, a military attack on the deep state parasites, on the Satanists, on the Illuminati, on the 13 bloodline families, on the sons of Cain. If you think about it, that goes back to Abraham Lincoln's time. The military, over a century, right? 1800s, yeah, 1850, yeah, a century, almost 2 centuries, planning a military takedown of the Satanist regime. The bankers, the lawyers, the doctors, all the corporations, politicians, all this whole interwoven force. Hey, Andrew D. Smith. Hey, Wade. A reminder, thank you. YNAP, Ian Bell. Yeah, Wade. Okay, so this, if you think about it, I'm going to take this off, but you guys know you call Dr. Stacy, or you can just sign up direct, or you can wait. Danielle says that I should like alternate days with her. She didn't want me to put her name up today. She wanted me to do it. So sweet. Okay, so let me get this off. But you guys know how to get a hold of it. I mean, it's an amazing product. I recommend it that you indulge yourself in a real product that is designed, first of all, to be higher level consciousness wise. It deals with light.
Yeah, and talk about the health style thing earlier.
Right. We have our like health lifestyle channel every Thursday at 6 o'clock. At 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So join us there. We discuss it. We discuss it with Dr. Stacy comes on 3:30 on Tuesday, Eastern Standard Time, to answer any questions that you might have about the LifeWave product. But we're starting to sign people up ourselves, and we want to have more of a direct communication and a communion with people involved in helping us with the LifeWave product. We make money off this. We it pays for our groceries this week anyway, most weeks, or the groceries we can afford. So if you want to reach us directly, we are open. We want to have a direct relationship with the people who are supporting us. We don't want to eat the bread of shame, which is to to get something for nothing. We want to feel like you're part of the family, and it's not just money. It's about developing a community that's interested in healing the population. There are a lot of people. What we're finding out as we answer phones and we're really talking directly with people, that there are a lot of people that are really suffering right now. There's the whole the vaccine holocaust, all these things, the continued poisoning of the air, the food supply, the water supply, the information supply. It's maddening, but we are going to make it through, and I think we're about to come out on the other side. So, Monica from Serbia. Wow, that is so cool. Welcome, Monica. We're so happy to have you here. Uh, okay, so it, it it seems to me that if you think about it, the military was the only way. We got that from Q. We've been studying. If you're new to the channel, you can ask if anything I say it doesn't make sense to you. Just put a comment out, and I'll try to explain it. Or the people in the chat are just as versed and if not more so than I am, so that they might be able to answer for you in a simpler way than I can. Sometimes I get a little convoluted, but everybody should know there was an attack on humanity that has probably spanned centuries. We don't know our history. A lot of people are saying there was a civilization called Tartaria. I'm not 100% convinced that that's true. I don't know if it was Lemuria. I don't know if it was Atlantis. I don't know. I don't know what it was, but I know enough to know that I don't know. That we don't know, that the history that we've been given is total fabrication, from the moon landing to the history of European and American civilization. It's just a bunch of bullshit. But we don't know yet, and I think we will find out what really happened. But as far as we know, we can go back, I believe, to the Civil War, which was a war designed and executed against the American people by the federal banking elites, by the parasitic culture that wanted to take over the world. And in 1871, very quietly, I believe it was Congress, passed the Organic Act of 1871, which basically was the bankruptcy of our country, and we were sold out to the creepazoid parasites: British, Vatican, Washington D.C. Those were there's three cities that they occupied. These are satanic center points. Washington D.C. You can see by the Washington Monument. There's a similar monuments in London and Vatican. At least I know for sure the Vatican. But we have the military has been planning for a long time to destroy this deep state that has infiltrated every aspect of every country in the world. It is not the Chinese. It is not the communists per se. It is the deep state. It is the parasites. It is this satanic cult that basically kills and kidnaps and destroys children, human children, to the tune of 8 million children go missing a year worldwide. They disappear in wars. They disappear in the confusion, crossing borders. They are snatched up by these creepazoids that have underground cities and the like. And they Hollywood, they create adrenochrome, which is supposed to be a very, very powerful drug. It's probably one of the few drugs I haven't. Thank God, it never came my way. But this is a criminal transnational organization that took over the world. They've infiltrated everything. You can see it in Davos is just part of it. The World Economic Forum is just part of it. It's a pervasive tapestry of criminal, not just like there's some bad folks that are kind of like liberal leaning. This is a criminal transnational, they don't care about countries. This is a criminal organization that's been perpetrating slavery upon mankind, with debt slavery, with medical slavery, with nutrition slavery, with air and water slavery. This is an evil that is unimaginable to most human beings. Most people cannot understand the level of depravity that this force exudes. The military decided in around the time of the Civil War, after Abraham Lincoln was assassinated by these Jesuit, you can't really just say they're Jesuits or that they're Khazarians or that they are what they are. They are Satanists. They worship the Satan. They sacrifice children. They drink the blood of children. That's what adrenochrome is all about. This force could not be taken down. There's no way like a government or could tackle such darkness. But the military planning, like I said, since the 1800s, has been waiting to destroy the worshippers of Molech. In the Old Testament, in Leviticus, it mentions Molech. It says, do not pass your children before the fire. They weren't talking about, if you ask a Torah scholar, they'll say, oh yeah, you're not supposed to like walk on coals, or, you're not supposed to carry your child near the, no, we're talking about human sacrifice. We're talking about adrenochrome production. We're talking about cannibalism that's been going on for a long, long time. And they destroyed a very advanced civilization, whether it was Tartaria, Atlantis, Lemuria, I don't know what it was exactly, but they destroyed a very advanced. So, and recently, we're not talking about 1,000 years ago. We're talking about the time of the Constitution, the 1700s. This force destroyed the remnants of a beautiful civilization and subsequently destroyed them with wars throughout the last couple hundred years. Every time there was a war, they would destroy more evidence of their existence, of the existence of a highly advanced civilization that left these buildings that cannot be explained by, we do not have the technology now to build these kinds of things. So this war has been the planning against this insidious, hidden shadow enemy that's been running the world has taken place for 100, 200 years. If you think of the idea of military planning, you're talking about a very highly organized, orchestrated, brilliant. I mean, the things that we've seen, the sting operations from the election that's now coming up, from the 2020 election, the fact that they allowed people to think that Joe Biden was the president. This is brilliance beyond my ability to, I could not, after the fall, the seeming fall of Trump in 2020 election, because it was so obvious that they cheated. I thought, in my way of looking at things, the military was just going to come out before the inauguration and just arrest everyone, and that would be it, and we'd go into the Great Awakening. They did something far more brilliant, something that I could never have conjured up. But they said, no, Make it seem like he won. And let's see what he does. Let's see what these Democrats do. Sometimes you have to show the people. And sometimes this is a war. Sometimes they're in showing the people, like with the COVID Holocaust. They showed the people, and it cost us millions and millions of lives. And people are still suffering to this day. There's sickness beyond understanding. Hey Zev, I see you, man. I just got I just had Zev Zelenko just visited us. God bless you, Zev, man. I didn't give up, man. I'm doing. I'm not on your level, Zev, but it's not over. It's not over yet. It's good to see you. It's good to see you too. So okay, so the thing is like this. If you think of military planning, if you think of an operation that spans centuries, the military is not going to like do what you and I might think of, or what I would think of, which is like, okay, just arrest a bunch of people and let's go on. You can't. They are too powerful. They are too embedded. There are too many shadow players. The real players, you don't know their name. You've never seen them. The real player, it's not Klaus Schwab that's running the world. He's just a slob, a puppet. All these Fauci is just some jerk who, but I mean they're involved, Bill Gates. But these are the puppets, not the puppet masters. You will never see the puppet masters. I don't listen. I don't know how I don't know how this thing operates. Zev is here today, so we'll just enjoy being with Zev. So if you think of military planning, how would the military come to the end of this operation? It wouldn't be like something happens. It wouldn't be like 9/11. It wouldn't be like there's a big false flag and then everything comes to rights. This is a knitted, a woven fabric of intentional design that is mind-boggling. So what are we seeing now? We're not seeing the election. Maduro is arrested, and suddenly people in Georgia are going down, and the fraudulent election results from 2020 are now being exposed. This is not a singular thing. This is reconnecting. What happened? Okay, they reconnected me. So I don't know. Listen, I don't. I try to share what I can share. The creepazoids make it difficult for me to succeed in this platform, but I am relentless and I don't give up. And however many people I reach, that's just dandy for me. So this is a multi-dimensional, multi-leveled, incredible crescendo of planned operations that are cascading into collision at once in one time frame. We're seeing the fall of the Fed. We're seeing gold and silver and copper rise, by the way. We're seeing the election results. We're seeing Iran being threatened. We're seeing Iraq being put to rights, right? Maleki, they would not, he was removed from the ballot. Trump said, I don't want him. And he was just removed from the ballot. We're seeing the fall of France. We're seeing Spain being sucked into the void. We're seeing everything coming to a head at once. This is the storm. This is what, remember when President Trump was asked, "What storm, Mr. President?" And he said, "You'll see." This is the storm. It has to operate, it has to coalesce into a gigantic crescendo, like the timpanis are, and the cymbals are crashing. Everything is going down at once. This is this is an amazing time to watch this. This is the end of Gullus. If you're a Yid, this is the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. This is the end of the Satanist regime. This is the end of all fraud, the end of all wars, and the rolling out of GESARA law. Gold-backed currency, gold, silver-backed currency, blockchain. XRP has not done what it's going to do. It's still being held back like a spring. It is coiled and ready. A debt jubilee. Any debts that you owe on will be forgiven. All courts have to be reconstituted and retrained. All lawyers, all doctors, the whole medical profession is in a state of collapse. Whether or not people appreciate it or understand that, most people don't. But you and I understand that the medical, when Trump parades the pharmaceutical CEOs out in public, and they say that they're no longer going to charge exorbitant prices. This is not an event in time. This is an announcement of a surrender from this horrific force that brought us the COVID Holocaust, the vaccine Holocaust. These are murderous people. These are not like just, kind of like bad guys, they're on the take. These are murderers. These are fiends. These are, if you think of what, or if I think of what I've come to understand to be the Khazarian mafia from stories that I read to my son years ago, about a guy who lives in a cave and he steals identities and he steals all this money and he's absolutely ruthless and will kill. This is the force we're dealing with. Vegiano, yeah, there's there are good people. There are good people here, and they're more good than bad. But this is a military operation that's reaching a climax. It's not going to be one thing. It's not going to be, in my opinion, it's not going to be the EBS. I don't see that. I think, because I believe that people have to come to it on their own. I could be wrong. I'd be delighted if there was an EBS and they would explain to people. But people are getting it. People are opening their eyes. People see that something is not normal. But most people are so brainwashed into believing that the Matrix is real that they can't escape. Even people with high intentions. The Republic is very real. I don't know when the Fed will fall, but gold and silver are proving the dollar is losing ground quickly. Yeah, absolutely. But that's what I'm saying. Everything is collapsing at once. It's timing. These are not accidental things like suddenly silver just went up, and now this is not a timeline specific series of events. This is a planned military operation, in my opinion, and everything will go down at once. The Iraqi dinar will be revalued. This thing with, I mean, God bless Mark Z. He's a wonderful guy. I've heard he's a nice guy. He's always been very nice to us. But to tell people week after week, and this Sherry, this is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a lot of misinformation. I just saw a film about the Asian guy that is total AI run by who knows who. There are a lot of forces here. There are a lot of forces at play. But in the end, all these events are, everything is collapsing at the same time. The fiat currency, we're going to have a new Fed chairman tomorrow. Everything is moving forward full steam. The fleet has surrounded Iran. All fraud must be ended in order for us to go into Jassara law. All wars must be over. So all these conflicts, all this fraud is being exposed at once, because we're now at a point where we've in my opinion, it seems like, if as somebody who studied like the narration, the general narration of a story in our culture, the hero encounters one problem, then he encounters a bigger problem, and then it's a huge, everything is all completely out of whack, and he somehow ends up winning in the end. That's what we're dealing with. Maybe those they show that thing of the three mountains. That's a typical narrative development of a story. Stories are so fascinating, and narration, it's all about the narrative. So they took over the narrative with the CIA took over the press. The CIA and the press were working together to make sure that you did not understand what the world really is. Right? What is the world really? The world has nothing to do with licenses and taxes and forms and corporations and all this other nonsense. That's just the illusion that they wanted you to buy. But now it's collapsing. We are returning, in my opinion, to the Republic. The Republic, which means God's laws, which means sovereign people who are in full control and are not hamstrung by a bunch of nudniks who want to make you docile, make you impotent, make you harmless by producing in you this demon of doubt that always tells you, I can't do that. No, I mean, if I do that, I mean, I'm encountering it with the Republic, with formulating a republic in Mojave County. We're all afraid that the Matrix is going to beat us up because we're so indoctrinated. That's all we can think of. Well, if we start a republic, they're going to be all over us. They have no fangs anymore. Their media is gone. Their medical community is gone. Their corporations have been exposed and probably arrested, and their wealth confiscated. We are in the Great Awakening. The only thing left to do is for peeps to wake up, is for you and I to say, wow, the Matrix is gone. I can do what I want to do with my life. It's gone. It's over. They can't scare you anymore. As long as you give them power, the only way they can have power is if you give it to them. The Republic is real. In Arizona, there never was a republic because Arizona was formed in 1912, the state of Arizona. The Republic was squashed in maybe 1840, 1850, certainly by 1871, the Republic was vacated. The Republic still exists as a framework. It's just not habitated by you and I yet. But we are returning to the Republic. There won't be a two-party system. There won't be according to Jasara, there'll be 10%. The government will be 10% of the size, and most of it will be local. You won't have this huge monolithic, sadistic, satanic, money grubbing, child trafficking, drug running, gun running structure, the military industrial complex, whatever you want to call it. There are many names for the face, but it really comes down to Molech and don't pass your children through the fire, and Satan, the Satan. Yes, we are here with you in Mojave County. If Divine Healing, if you are here, we need a few more people to sign this contract. So contact me on on my on Kabbalah Guru at gmail.com. Send me a Gmail. All I need is 2 more bodies. All we have to do is show up at the court steps for 3 days in a row and declare that the Republic has been reinstituted in Mojave County. And that effectively frees everyone in the county. You have a choice then. The Republic, all it takes is for a couple of people to stand on the court steps for a few days in a row, 3 days in a row, sign a contract, make a proclamation, and we'll be freeing Mojave County. Mojave County is a great place to free because there are so many freedom fighters in Mojave County. You just go into any place where it's not tourists, and you see the bikers with the long hair, the old guys like my age, that they all got the beards, and they all got the overalls, and they all drive a truck, and they all own a little land, or they own and sometimes they're packing, sometimes they're not, but these are freedom fighters. They just don't know about the official Republic. You and I. So Divine Healing, just drop us a coin, or even better. Okay, even better. Let's do it officially, okay? All you have to do is join the Republic at republicforusa.org. And when they're like 3 lines or 5 lines up in the corner, and you volunteer, but make sure you let them know that you want to actually do something. Because the people who are, in my opinion, and this is not to disparage anyone, I am in total support of the Republic. From what I understand, I'm an incarnation of people that were involved with the Republic. I have past life experience with this. So I didn't come here, and like, wow, what a great idea. It's like, this is what I came here to do. They destroyed us, that we vacated the Republic. I've been told by, my peeps that I could be, this is not something that's, it came to me through Gila, through like Nancy, but I've known about this, maybe not consciously, but unconsciously. I've been preparing for this for this lifetime and many other lifetimes, several other lifetimes. But we as the people of the Republic must act. It's not enough to just join the Republic and like hope that it happens. We got to do stuff. All it takes is 4 people to sign a document and show up at the city court. Now, if you can help us, God bless, because it's not for everyone. People have responsibilities. I'm ready to go. I know what this is about. I don't have any fear about they're gonna mess with me. They've already messed with me. They took my job. They took my YouTube channel. They've been I've been I'm in the fight. I'm not here to back down. But the thing that we must do is action. And this is part of the Great Awakening. This is part of the storm. Because the white, we've been told that the white hats are waiting for us to make the move. What else do you need to know? Oh, yeah, Trump's going to do it all. He can't. This has to come from you and I. So join the Republic, whatever state you're in. I would even say whatever country you're in. I think this is going to be a global movement where people will be sovereign again. They'll be in control of their lives. So I'm heavily into this, man. I mean, it resonates with me. Let's re-inhabit the Republic. What is the Republic? Like Abba Paltiel. I'm going to mention names. Rabbi Abba Paltiel, one of my fondest, one of the greatest rabbis I've ever met, said that the Republic, he didn't say the Republic, he said the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. He says these are divine revelations. These are divinely inspired. We want to return to the land of the divine, which is this place where they don't put. I mean, I just walked outside and I saw they got a mist all over the land out here. There's a mist. There's a halo around the moon. Now, Daniela thinks it's the good guys. I don't know. I don't want to see this anymore. I don't want to see chemtrails in the sky. I don't want to walk into a grocery store and say to Daniela or think, like we go into a grocery store and it's like 99.999% of the grocery store is not for us. We know exactly what we can buy there. There are a few items we are willing to buy. It's like, a handful of items. We're willing to buy organic fruit, even though we know that's probably been compromised as well. Certainly, if it's sitting in the mister, then they're shooting chemicals all over it. We don't generally buy the organic vegetables that are on the shelf exposed. We buy fruits. I buy cabbage. I peel off the outer leaves. Cabbage is a very good survival food for me, even though some people, don't like cabbage, but I've had cabbage in my refrigerator for many years because you could take off the outer leaves and pray and wash it and pray that, it's okay. But eventually we will be creating our own food. This is interesting. My husband's gene now shows a Nancy Hart that is supposed to have captured. Yeah, listen, if you're on this channel, you are probably an incarnation of somebody from that experienced the Republic, that experienced divinity in a body, that experienced divine law, or the lack of, the creepazoid, the matrix, the creeps. So yeah, so I'm sure metal is the best investment now. I stay away from the stock market from now. Yeah, I agree, but also I listen. XRP is XRP, XLM, Hash Bar, all those XDC and the like, IOTA. This is going to be a monumental shift when those things are revalued. We're talking about the Clarity Act was moved along today. So we're very close to achieving complete liberation on many different fronts at once. This is military planning. So the economy, the medical, the corporation, the banking, the informational, the media, everything is going to collapse at the same time. And it'll be a controlled demolition that I believe will be quickly transferred onto the rails of XRP and the like, that everything will go into the quantum financial system, that the med beds will be rolled out eventually, and all these things will be coming. Great technologies, free energy, will have conscious use. I had I don't know if my friend Andrew is on the channel, but I met this incredible guy from Mojave County, and he was saying that that the native people here are very well aware of the portals and the mystic things that exist in remote parts of Arizona and probably in the middle of the city as well. We don't know our world. We don't really understand it. I mean, we have ideas of what this is about, but the truth will be rolled out in the next wave of and in continual waves. It's a tsunami, but we are not built to take the shock of a tsunami. We're built to understand things in waves. Like somebody asked me last night, "Do you believe in flat Earth?" I do, but I remember when I was watching Phil explain how it's impossible to have a round Earth, I was just like, "Oh, come on," And this wasn't that long ago. So it takes time. I remember looking at the Dumbs channel. I remember hearing about adrenochrome. I remember hearing that there were 8 million kids go missing a year. I remember being told that if I didn't take the vax, I was going to lose my job. All these things have happened in the last couple of years. But we're coming now. I'm not saying that it's going to be over tomorrow, but it seems to me that things are reaching the timpani is boom 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 boom, and whoosh, and the cymbals are clattering and clashing, and the end is near. The end of the world as we know it. It's already over. It's already long over. But now we're going to be discovering what's already taken place, in my opinion. So let me just go to the information stream for a short time. Maricopa County, nice, nice. You're Maricopa. I didn't know you. For some reason I didn't know that. Um, yeah, gold is going up now. The reason why is gold going up because the fiat is going down. That your currency is worth less and less. So if you have, in my opinion, what I would do if I had some cash is immediately invested in metals and XRP and the like and land. And for me, I mean, we need another vehicle, so I would probably buy another vehicle. Let me while I'm on that subject, I'm going to take down the just because I'm a little bit ADHD and it's a bit distracting. Let me just show you this is to show you. I'm showing you this because I want to explain that you can do whatever you want, even if you don't know how to do something. You can figure it out. Okay. When I threw myself when I was about 26, I just fell in love with the idea of being a carpenter. I never really was interested before. My father would ask me to help around the house. I'd be like, "Dad, I'm busy, man. I'm a teenager. I don't have time for this stuff. What are you doing to the wall, Dad? This kind of thing." But at 26, and I wasn't living at home anymore, I suddenly was like, I got the call from above. So why am I saying this? Just to say that. So I learned how to do everything by somebody would say, "Could you put in a window?" And I'd be like, "Oh yeah." I said, "Yeah, I could." And then I'd have to figure out how the hell do you put in a window, and I'd have to figure it out. So I want to show these two pictures with the idea that if I can do it, you can do it. But be careful. Don't do anything crazy. I'm being very cautious with this beam raising. I've been raising this beam for the last couple of days, and yesterday I went in and got some new pulleys and things like that. So let me just show you where we've gotten to because I'm very close now. I'm in a position where I think I can just push it over, but I want to do it in a safe way. It scares me. Yeah, we have neighbors like this. Yeah, divine healing. Yeah, you definitely. Let me know, man. You'll come to the courthouse with us, and we'll get this. We'll free Mojave County from this corporate creepazoid structure, these parasites. All right, so let me show you this thing, and then we'll go to the news real quick. let's see, where did I go? Yeah, okay. So this is the state. I've managed to raise this heavy beam using these straps to this height, and I found out here at an old scaffold on an abandoned piece of property, and I used the scaffold to. This was actually Josh. Josh told me to do this, but I put the scaffold up so that if anything happened to the straps, it wouldn't just squash the RV. So that's one picture. Let me go back. Okay, let's see. I'm going to go back to safety. Where am I? Here we go. And then let me show the other another picture. But I'm showing you this with the idea that do not be afraid to try something new. You can see it from the outside. I have this tied to my truck and tied also off here, but I'm gonna change it a little bit before I put it into position. But once I have the one beam up, Daniela was asking me about this. She says, what are you doing? You're putting up the beam. I said, once I get this one beam up, there are two other beams that will be in line with it, and that will create both the second floor and the roof structure. That will be the supporting structure of really the whole Earth ship. So I show you that not to feel like I'm so clever or anything, but just to show you that. And this was a process for me. You saw me a few days ago. I did not know what I was doing. I was using the ratchet strap to pull it up. Now I have a real pulley, and a real ratchet. And I was using wheels that I found in abandoned wheels, and I'm still using wheel in some parts, but I have now a real pulley and stuff. But and the having the scaffold to, in case God forbid anything happens, it will have something to rest upon. But I show you this with the idea that you can do whatever you want. You won't know right away, but you could figure it out. It's not rocket science. I mean, it's scary. It's scary. This beam scares me, because if it fell, man, it would be a terrible thing. But I'm doing it. It because it has to be done, because this occurred to me. This is the way the building is being. I don't have plans, but it was. It's made clear to me as I go along. Okay, now you need to think about this, and then I thought, well, while I'm doing that, I might as well put on a second floor, at least in the back half of the Earthship, to have my studio and to have maybe a bedroom above ground. We like to sleep because we're used to sleeping in this like kind of loft situation. My bed is right up here. We're used to we lower it at night, but we're used to sleeping off the ground. So I want to continue that. I want to sleep in a loft and be able to see the stars at night, this kind of thing. Anyway, that's a thing in process, but just know that you can do this. You can do whatever you want. I'm not the only one who lives in an RV. I'm finding out that a lot of people around here live in an RV because the weather is so nice. We're not trapped inside for months and months. The winter is like usually a cluster of like it's a couple of days of cold, and then a, 10 days of warm, and then a couple of more days of cold. The winter is pretty easy up in at 4,000 feet in the Arizona mountains. Beautiful life, man. Okay, you can all have this or whatever you want. You want to live by a river? That's fine too. People were saying yesterday that they want to live by the water. I lived by the water for 2 years. I needed to live by the water. My spirit said, go where you can hear the waves from where you sleep, where you can see the waves. And I did that. And then after a while, it was like, okay, this is not so important to me. What's more important is having my own land so I can do what I want. I have 6 fruit trees, man. I'm going to buy nut trees of the most interesting kinds of nuts. I'll have my own food source, and we'll have chickens and ducks. I had duck eggs for dinner. It's a beautiful world. Okay, so let's just go to the thought stream for a moment. Let's look at my thought stream here. Okay, so Okay, so the Q people are right. The world is finding out. Some of us have been telling everyone that the 2020 election was a sting operation. So what did Q say about it? He says, "How do you show the public the truth? How do you safeguard U.S. elections post POTUS? How do you remove foreign interference and corruption?" Remember, Madeira, Italy, all these foreign. And now this is the creeps, the Satanists were behind this and installed U.S. voter-owned laws and further safeguards. It had to be this way. Sometimes you must walk through the darkness before you see the light. That's really cool. That's really important. Let me go back to safety here. I'm going to go. I'm just going to go quickly through some of these posts because I want you to see that this is a planned military operation that's happening on many different fronts. How come I can't do this? What's going on now? Uh okay, let's go back here. That's not what I wanted. Stop sharing. Okay, we'll try it one more time. Let's just go to here. We'll try going to here. Okay, a storm is coming. Yes, indeed. Okay, let's go up to the top. We'll look at the general thought stream. Go get him, Tom. Okay, this is. Okay, so it's happening. All right, what is this? You can't trust anything you were shown it in 2000 Mules, right? We knew about this. From the signal chats in Minnesota reveals that the ICE agitators are being stationed geographically and they're being divided by city council district. This is a very strong indication that this is a highly organized, this has been organized by the Democratic Party. This is organized crime. A dropping announcement that left liberals speechless. President Trump drops the hammer on sanctuary cities and blue states by declaring, starting February 1st, zero federal dollars. Okay, for sanctuary cities. You have the ballots. People will be going to prison. Surprise! 2020 was a sting operation. You and I knew that. House Republicans just dropped a massive plan codifying 81 Trump executive orders into permanent law. This locks in the wins forever. Amazing, right? The new SEC chair, Paul Atkins, urges Congress to pass the Clarity Act. He was the one who ended the SEC versus Ripple case. Spy game exposed. Holy crap. Five Eyes missing binder. The CIA and FBI were weaponized to spy on President Trump and 26 others for the Russiagate hoax. This is all coming to light at once. We are moving at light speed, and the Fed is going to get a new chair tomorrow. Breaking news. All these things are hitting the beach at once. What's the punishment for high treason? To willingly, knowingly, and voluntarily or for pay shows full intent to overthrow a sitting presidential election. This is not nothing, right? Illegals running from ICE. An ICE agent who went viral for telling a screeching leftist he loves his job and would do this for free, rolled up on a quad like John Wick, staging a takedown of two illegals in the snow. Okay. It's Judy Shelton. She may very well, from Mr. Poole's Judy Shelton confirmation post, she may very well be the new Fed chairman. I definitely would support it. She said, I want to see gold win in a crypto kind of way. That's her. Reminds me of the classic meme. My dad told me you were spying on us. He's not your dad. Okay. All right. Just in devastating blow to the experts, U.S. steel production now exceeds Japan for the first time in 30 years. Just in, hundreds of illegals were arrested in New Orleans, and there were zero riots, zero chaos, zero violence because local police actually cooperated. Maricopa County election insider just testified under oath. Dominion techs walked right into voting sites during a live election, plugged an external hard drives into the machine, downloaded ballots, images, and sensitive data, then walked off-site with zero chains of custody, no logs, no oversight. What they were uploading, downloading in real time while votes were being cast. Where did the data really go? Who was manipulating ballots behind the curtain? This isn't oversight, it's a cover up. The storm is exposing the machines. Ripple and XRP integrated into the SWIFT network. That's big too. When truth breaks the illusion. This is Zachariah Fisher. I don't know who he is, but I really like his posts. Everyone says they want the truth until it arrives, because truth is not always gentle. It does not always knock politely. Sometimes it crashes through the walls you built to feel safe. Sometimes it dismantles beliefs you defended for years. Sometimes it asks you to admit that what you once called certainty was only comfort, and that can feel like loss. But let me share something that most people only understood after they walked through it. Truth itself is never what wounds you. What wounds you is the unraveling of the story you wrapped around your identity, the roles you played, the narratives you inherited, the illusions you outgrew because you were afraid to release. There comes a moment on every awakening path when you can no longer pretend not to see, when your inner knowing becomes louder than the collective noise, when alignment matters more than approval. That moment changes everything. You may grieve the version of you that once felt certain. You may feel alone for a season. You may question nearly everything. Good. Not because confusion is the destination, but because clarity is being born. Understand this: awakening is rarely comfortable, but it is always liberating. Every illusion that falls makes space for something more real, more grounded, more sovereign, more you. And if you are in that season right now where things feel like they are shifting faster than you can integrate, take a breath. You are not falling apart. You are refining. You are remembering. You are stepping out of inherited perception and into lived truth. Most people turn back here. They rebuild the illusion because it feels familiar. But those who keep walking discover something extraordinary. On the other side of illusion is peace that does not depend on circumstances. On the other side is a strength that cannot be manipulated. On the other side is freedom. So if life is revealing things you once could not see, do not resist it. Let the false fall away. Let the discomfort teach you. Let the clarity anchor you. You were never meant to live asleep inside someone else's version of reality. You were meant to see clearly and live courageously because of it. The hardest part of the awakening is realizing the life you believed in was never your real life. Keep walking. I like that, Zachary. That's very beautiful. All right, I think I've really hit on enough things. I could go to my thought stream, but you guys get the idea. Everything is happening at once, and it's just going to be like the 4th of July, fireworks everywhere. Iran, the election thing, everything, the economy, the Fed going down, the people being arrested. Probably will have televised tribunals soon from Gitmo. It's happening. Whether it'll happen in the kind of organized way that you picture or that I picture, I don't picture it like that. I think back to something that somebody said to me who was a mystic, and he said that, and I'm not saying, he said that not even the divine, not even God himself knows, and I don't think of God that way, of God himself. I think of this divine energy that we live inside of and we are basically part of. But that the way this thing unpacks is not known by anyone. There's no certainty. It's spontaneous combustion. It's going to be colossal. It already is colossal. The who you were and what you thought was reality last week is now a totally different world. And in the next couple days, we're going to see things like perhaps we've never seen. Will it take another 5 years? Will it take another 5 minutes? I don't know from time. Neither does anybody else. But we're in it. We're on the slide going downhill. I think we've reached a kind of crescendo moment with the silver exploding, with the gold exploding, with Iran about to be taken down, with Maduro, with the election fraud, with the end of all wars and the end of this fraud that they've been stealing our money to perpetrate crimes against us. This is all coming to a close. So let me play a tune. I'm going to play the New Morning, and just think of it like this: we are waking up to a new dawn, a new morning, not like any other morning we've ever seen before. It is totally uncharted waters, and that's the beauty of it. That's the gorgeousness. So, oh wow, I'm way back on this. 100 thumbs up. That's nice. Wow, we have 215. That's big for me. Like I said, I could look at the thing and it could be 10,000. It could be a million. It doesn't matter to me. I'm here. So, they've been squashing my channel for a long time, and I don't care. It's what I do. Zev Zelenko went down fighting. He went down swinging. He didn't give up. He was ostracized by everyone. He didn't care because for Zev Zelenko, truth is what mattered. From what I understand, I'm not sure he knew about Q, but he knew that the vaccine was not good for people. Will I lose my YouTube channel for saying that? I'm not going to stop saying the truth. Whether I lose my channel, whether I lose my job, I didn't come here. I didn't come to this existence to make a living. This is a monumental transformation of leaving Egypt and coming into the promised land. And nothing can stop what's coming. We are coming into a sense of freedom, a sense of ownership, a sense of reality that will resonate through and through. So let's all wake up together. Here, let's do the New Morning, man. You know how this song came about. I was on a front porch in Georgia, and I had Sheila and Sparky Brown trying to get me out of the matrix. I had just come from New York. This was in the early 90s, and they would put their hands on my heart and held me and tried to make me understand that there was more to life than the matrix. So this was me waking up. And I'm sure you've all had this kind of experience. Waking up on the front porch, Sunday at dawn. The night was hotter than hell and forever long. I can see the first light breaking through the trees. I feel the changes in the cool breeze of freedom. And it's a new morning. It's a new We never saw it coming, hiding in plain sight. Banksters taking power, stealing our lives. They were looking to bury us in debt, shame and fear. But our roots grew stronger as we reached into the air with freedom. And it's a new morning. It's a new morning. With each day we're rising up in this world with the power of love, with the power of peace, the power of joy, the power of truth. It's a new morning. It's a new morning. It's a new morning. Okay, new morning. Get rid of that. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for supporting our effort with the LifeWave patch. We hope you have good health, good wealth, and if you can still get copper, man, I think it's a great investment. I used to really pride myself in having like something like heavy silver. I don't have that much silver anymore. I have land, but I did buy a couple rolls of copper, so I still have some weight of metal. It's beautiful, man. If you haven't bought XRP, man, you can still get into it. I don't know when it's going to go to the moon, but I don't think it's going to be long now. I've been waiting for 7 years. So, but anyway, it's all happening. This is a concerted a concert. This is an orchestrated event that is occurring in all different directions at the same time. This is military planning at its best, and it's coming to an orchestrated crescendo. Nothing can stop what's coming. It's all good. Just hold on to your hats, enjoy the ride. May the force be with you. May you realize that you are the force. You are Neo. You are the one. May source be with you. May you realize that you are source. We're coming into the republic, into divine existence, into existence which resonates with divinity and love and joy. So let's get out there with a big smile on our face and rock the world.